What's up, guys? We're back with the 14th BioLayne Video Log, and this one is sure to rustle some jimmies, so get ready. Today we're talking supplements and just a couple in particular. Every year it seems like companies try and reinvent the wheel, come out with the newest, greatest things, and I get it, you know. The old stuff is not sexy anymore. You know, like creatine monohydrate, for example. Creatine monohydrate isn't sexy. It just works, okay? It's probably one of the most studied supplements in the history of the world. There's tons of research showing creatine monohydrate increases lean body mass, increases strength, increases performance. So why do we have companies every year trying to come out with a different type of creatine product? Well, the reason is not because they're more effective, because they aren't. Buffered creatine, creatine ethyl ester, all these have shown to be, if anything, less effective than creatine monohydrate with a way bigger price tag. Why did they come out with them? Well, the fact is because creatine monohydrate's been marketed as much as you can market. It's boring to people. They find it boring. It's not sexy. It's not new. Well, I can go buy creatine monohydrate, 1,000 grams for 20, 30 bucks. You know, what's so sexy about that? Well, I guess if you like results, that's kind of sexy. I don't know. But, you know, if you want to get hyped up on a bunch of exactly what that is, hype about stuff, go right ahead. I mean, for example, we talked about in one video log how creatine works. Creatine works by, when you supplement with it, you saturate your muscle cells with creatine. And thus you get the beneficial effects from creatine. Creatine monohydrate has been shown to saturate muscle cells 100%. Okay? You cannot get more than 100%. Alright? So, even if some of these other, even if creatine ethyl ester got digested faster or absorbed better, or buffered creatine was more stable, it doesn't matter because they're so much more expensive, and creatine monohydrate saturates the muscle cell 100%. So, what the problem be? there is no problem. Creatine monohydrate's great. Now you'll hear people, well, you know, this new thing will take away the bloating from creatine. If you're getting bloating from creatine, typically that's because you're loading it. Loading it will cause you to saturate the muscle cells faster, but you will still achieve saturation even if you don't load it, okay? And if you load it, it can cause some digestive issues for some people, gas, bloating, those sorts of things. If you don't load it, you're not going to get those side effects typically. And if people say, well, you know, creatine causes water retention. Well, ours doesn't cause water retention. What? So water retention intramuscularly from creatine is actually one of the most beneficial effects. A hydrated cell is an anabolic cell. So you want to say in one breath that you don't have the water retention from creatine, but it's still anabolic? Because what you're saying is that it's still effective, but it doesn't have the most effective, it doesn't have one of the most important attributes of a regular creatine. They're speaking out of both sides of their mouth. They're telling you nonsense, okay? So, short story, that is buy creatine monohydrate if you want a creatine. It may not be sexy, it may not be new, but it works. Another thing I'm seeing out that I guess I missed the boat on was silk amino acids. Apparently these are getting like a bunch of people online, like people start asking me, hey Layne, what about silk amino acids? What about silk? And I'm thinking, what? Like, was there a meeting I missed or something? So I started doing some research because for you guys that aren't real familiar with my PhD research, essentially what my PhD research showed that or supported the idea that the amino acid leucine was critical for determining protein quality as it relates to the anabolic potential of a protein source. So sources higher in leucine have a greater impact on anabolism than sources lower in leucine. And we showed this, like for example, comparing protein sources like wheat and soy, egg and whey. And egg and whey, the two higher leucine sources, were significantly better than wheat and soy. And to kind of support our point further, we took a protein source that was low in leucine, wheat, and we supplemented it with leucine to match the leucine content of whey, and it completely normalized the effect. It completely made them the same. So again, basically showing that leucine is really the critical amino acid for determining protein quality as it relates to muscle protein synthesis. So if you have low leucine on a protein source, you may not be able to stimulate muscle protein synthesis. In fact, we showed that there was a critical amount for stimulating muscle protein synthesis, and leucine is one of the branched chain amino acids. So when I started hearing about this silk amino acids and how much play they were getting, I started thinking, wow, must be pretty high in leucine. And it's really funny, if you go to some of the ads, like some of the advertisements for silk amino acids is literally branched chain amino acids. Those are so 1980. Those are so old and outdated. Those are so, it's so boring, Well, there's a reason stuff is boring, like the creatine monohydrates of the world. Well, they're boring because they've been around a really long time because they work, okay? But I was thinking, all right, well, it's probably got like a really high leucine content or something. Not only is it not high in leucine, it's probably the silk amino acids are probably the lowest intact protein source of leucine I have ever seen. The leucine content of the silk amino acids being marketed by these companies is almost 1%. Okay? Wheat protein has about 6.8%, and wheat protein sucked in our experiments for stimulating muscle protein synthesis. Okay? So, and you're looking, that's 6 times what's in silk amino acids. Alright? So, I was looking at that and I'm thinking, wow, I have no idea why that would actually be a good supplement. And then one of the companies said something about, oh, well, most branched chain amino acids are made from human hair. Well, silk amino acids are made from insects, And I'm not going to sit there and say that's necessarily a bad thing, because once they go through all the processing and distilling them down, I mean, you're not dealing with insects or human hair or any of that anymore. You're dealing with a purified substance. It's not a big deal. But the fact that that would be like a marketing ploy is just kind of hilarious to me. So they did have a study that they referenced on for silk amino acids, improving performance during exercise, what they showed, and increasing testosterone. So I looked at the study. It's a mouse study. Now I did a lot of research in rats, so I don't dismiss stuff just because it's in mice. The actual study itself was done very well, but it is inappropriate for the comparisons they're making. Let me tell you why. They had mice swim, and they looked at swimming performance, like for 42 days. And they would either give these mice silk amino acids or water before swimming, and then they would compare the outcomes. So one group was getting nothing, and the other one was getting something. But that's all they compared them to. But the ads are comparing silk amino acids to branched chain amino acids. Did I miss something here? Did your study actually compare branched chain amino acids to silk amino acids? No, they didn't. And of course the group getting some actual nutrients, some calories, showed improved performance over just water. I mean, I'm pretty sure somebody with the IQ of 50 could have figured that out, or a chimp could have figured that out. That just seems like common sense to me. But they use that to market. That study is used to market the silk amino acids, and it's completely inappropriate. The only conclusions you can draw from that study is that yes, giving silk amino acids compared to water is better for performance and exercise. Okay, well, what about just actually taking some stuff that's been shown to be really good? The other thing was the testosterone. It boosted testosterone. Well, actually it didn't. All the groups that exercised got a boost in testosterone compared to the beginning. Even the group drinking just water got a boost in testosterone. It was an exercise effect. It wasn't an effect of the silk amino acids. So there's that one out the door. So yes, what we've got here are companies trying to reinvent the wheel. They can't make a good profit on branched chain amino acids because they're not sexy enough. So they try to sexy up something else. Well, not only is the study they're referencing just one study, and not only is it totally illogical to use that to compare to branched chain amino acids, but the frickin' leucine content is like 1%. Are you kidding me? I mean, this isn't no new stuff we're talking about here. Leucine's been studied very intensely for the past decade, and most researchers that don't have their heads in the sand pretty much agree that leucine content of protein sources is really important when you're talking about how anabolic a protein source is. So, I mean, that would be like the least anabolic protein source I've ever seen. It'd be the lowest quality anabolic protein source I've ever seen. It's extremely high in non-essential amino acids, which I guess is awesome since your body can make all the non-essential amino acids you'll ever need, and your gut and liver tend to extract almost all of them anyway, and they never really get into circulation that much. So yeah, I'm pretty sure in that experiment, if you just given the same amount of calories from, I don't know, anything, you would have gotten the same results. So yeah, that's one that kind of, after actually reading the research and looking through the stuff, it was like, wow, I can believe people are falling for it, because, you know, most people aren't going to go on PubMed and read the research and that sort of stuff, but it's just disappointing to me that, you know, stuff is marketed this way, but it is what it is. Now, the last one I want to talk about is one that was popular about 10 years ago when I was first getting into bodybuilding, and then has kind of made a comeback recently, and that's myostatin inhibitors. Everybody's seen the pictures of the myostatin knockout cows, the Belgian blues, the big old jack dogs, you know, that are myostatin deficient, and thinking, oh man, myostatin inhibitors, that's going to be the next generation, make me look like, you know, crazy, crazy huge. Well, first off, these things have been around for 10 years, so don't you think we'd have some really, really, really disturbing looking human beings if these things actually worked? Fact is, they don't. And you know, now there's a couple companies that brought out follistatin, and there is research to show that follistatin inhibits myostatin. But here's the problem: you're taking follistatin orally. Okay, you're taking an oral supplement. All right, follistatin, like any protein, follistatin is a protein, okay? So it's, you know, long chain of amino acids that fold into a conformational shape into this protein, okay? And that shape is what causes it to be a myostatin inhibitor, that three-dimensional shape of that protein, okay? During digestion, you completely destroy, you denature, unravel, and destroy a protein. Now, well, destroy is the wrong word. It's digested, so it's clipped into its constitutive amino acids, all right? But you don't retain, that intact protein does not enter circulation. It's completely unraveled and digested, okay? Just the amino acids get into circulation. So there's going to be no binding effect on myostatin. Nothing. Now, injectable, who knows, you know, but I tend to think that there's probably not a whole lot of stuff showing it works even injectably, because you've got to figure that a lot of guys who are in non-tested bodybuilding would be trying it a lot. You'd probably hear them ranting and raving about them if it was working, but I haven't really heard anything about that. So yeah, the myostatin inhibitors, if you're buying it off, especially if you're buying it off the shelf, you're getting guru'd on that one. You're getting scammed on that. Those things are a sham. And I remember one company the head of this company got particularly angry at me because I posted on a message board. I didn't say his products were a sham. I just said that I thought myostatin inhibitors in general were a sham. And he got very, very angry with me and sent me some nasty emails. And so, well, we've got this abstract published. They published an abstract showing that myostatin increased blood levels, or I'm sorry, that their inhibitor increased blood levels of, decreased blood levels of myostatin. I'm sorry. First off, it's the muscular levels of myostatin that are regulatory, not blood. And second, anybody can publish an abstract. I can go submit an abstract to any organization. It is not peer-reviewed, nothing. I can say whatever I want. I can say, oh, my urine can make grass turn into gold. And I can publish that as an abstract. Okay? So abstracts are nice. I mean, they get research out there pretty quick, but it's not peer-reviewed science. It is not a scientific publication. So yeah, that's my rant for today, which I guess it looks like a lot of the BioLayne video logs are turning into rants. But you know, I really hate to see, you know, people you know, getting scammed on supplements. And I mean, I'll tell people, you know, most supplements are way overvalued. You know, I'll get kids coming to me who are 15 years old and say, hey, what supplements do I need? Dude, you got to concentrate on diet and training first. You know, supplements are the last, you know, 1, 2, 3% of what makes a bodybuilder or somebody looking to enhance their performance or physique. Now, for somebody who's a professional or who's really looking to get, you know, the maximum out of their performance, can that 1 or 2 or 3% be worth it? Yeah, absolutely. But it really bothers me when research is, you know, misrepresented by companies in an effort to sell more product. And I understand stuff's going to be sensationalized. I understand people got to make a profit. I understand all that. But I really think there's a difference between, you know, sensationalization, trying to, you know, aggressively market something, and just flat out being misleading. So I hope this video log's been helpful. Hopefully I can save you guys money on not buying anything other than creatine monohydrate as far as creatines go. Silk amino acids, unless you want a really low quality protein source, or myostatin inhibitors. Thanks guys. If you like this video, please subscribe. Also, if you aren't doing so, you can follow me on Twitter at BioLayne, and my Facebook fan page is facebook.com/Layne Norton. Also, if you haven't visited my website, please do that as well, www.biolayne.com. Thanks guys. We'll see you next time.